beers on. So we are almost ready to go.
I will tell you
Yes.
that the champagne move
Really
into
got
the
you.
peach vodka
Yeah.
thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
No strong?
I'm not going to dance on the table.
Yet.
Although I like the heat coming out of here.
Maybe the third
It's
episode.
good.
It's making me feel a little warm. I'm not gonna lie.
Got to leave your clothes on. That's probably the one thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing
I'm
that
just
we have to do
saying.
in Club Money.
I'll try to reserve
Yeah,
myself.
I mean, when you hear that, I know when you hear that the show beat, you're gonna go oomta oomta oomta, and I know you're gonna like start grinding, and that's
Told you
cool.
before that you showed me some music. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. So,
Oh boy.
welcome to episode 1 of Club Muddy. I'm with Frankie Murphy Giesing, who will be the co-host on this wild ride for the next few weeks, months, years. And then Ashley Conrad, who of course is the host of the Daily Muddy,
Hey.
is our virgin guest.
The virgin.
Air quotes, major air quotes.
The first. Meaning the first.
Like
You were
yeah.
told. You were told that this is no holds barred.
Right.
So you know that going in.
Yeah, it's all
I just
good.
want to make sure you know
I was
that.
just gonna say, ask my husband.
Okay,
Whatever,
no,
it's okay.
yes, you're married. You got 2 kids, obviously.
Yep.
You know, we only know one woman had a child without doing it.
Sure.
Correct.
So, Frankie and I are both Catholic, so we
I'm
know,
Catholic
talk about this
too.
kind of stuff.
Yeah,
You're
that's
Catholic
the
too?
woman.
Yeah,
Have we
man.
had this discussion?
Maybe not practicing. Is Christ Easter, I think is what they call it, right? Like,
C&E. You're C&E Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
So that means that you like to drink at parish picnics.
I'm like the biggest.
Okay, that's like
fan of,
92% of Quincy though.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you don't even have to be Quincy. You don't get Catholic. That's okay. My Quincy analogy here is everybody is Catholic in Quincy for the St. Francis picnic, KC barbecue, June Fest, those.
Yeah.
Everybody's Catholic. Aside from that, nah, probably not.
Right.
Absolutely.
And for some reason the mega churches stay away from the big picnics. So is it just do the Baptists do it? No, just the Catholics, right?
Just the Catholics. The Baptists, no, they don't even dance standing up. No. So that's kind of how that goes.
Okay. So all of the people that broke away, they were right about the Catholics.
They were, yes. Catholicism.
What? We're like badass?
It's the religion of convenience.
Okay.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I really, really fucked up, but
Yeah.
bless me,
Right.
Father, for I have
There are
sinned.
3,000 sects of Christianity. They all broke away because they
Did you
felt
say
that-
sex?
Sex.
That's what you heard.
SECTS. Sex.
But
Okay.
We're not
So,
supposed to
yeah.
talk about sex till episode 4,
Right.
Ashley.
Okay, sorry
So,
about that. But yeah, that's why there's a bar and a church on every corner, which is
Yeah.
quintessential for
Right.
Quincy folks to.
Quincy, the German Catholic historic
Yeah,
town.
for sure.
Rivertown.
Yeah.
So we're here. This is Club Muddy. And again, as you can tell by our intro, we are going to totally talk about anything. Anything goes. Ashley and Frankie sort of did a little warm-up if you watched the Daily Muddy the other day. And now that we are here actually launching this thing, it's going to be like weekly. I think that's what we're going to shoot for. And try to just kind of have these kind of ad hoc conversations. I guess that's the best way to talk about it. But I think we wanted to really get this thing started this week because we possibly have, we will possibly have the largest crowd for any single gathering in the history of Adams County coming up Saturday night. And it's not a Blue Devil basketball game. It's not a Raider basketball game.
What's going on?
What is it, Bob?
The former president of the United States is coming to see us at the Adams County Fairground.
I'm clutching my pearls. What does this mean for us?
Well, it means that he is trying to push Mary Miller over the finish line in this congressional race. The latest polling I saw, courtesy of some friends of mine, maybe relatives of mine, were that she actually has a lead now, which I was very surprised by. And this Trump visit could possibly be the thing that pushes her across the finish line because the primary is on Tuesday. So
I don't know I haven't really heard any real agenda. I haven't heard, any talking points, but that's not anything on Mary. That's more on me because I've been super busy. But do you think that she's ahead because of Trump? What's your general feel?
I think she's ahead because she has done a really good job of labeling a guy like Rodney Davis, who's a pretty staunch conservative, as a rhino, which is called Republican in name only in political circles. And when you can have this kind of lineup and President Trump's going to come in, and not only President Trump, You've also got Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene coming in to speak ahead of President Trump on Saturday night.
I did not know that.
That's
Breaking news right here. Yeah.
Those two are going to speak ahead of Trump.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's going to be a conservative powerhouse. Basically, anybody who is the big names in the Freedom Caucus of the Republicans in Congress are going to be here Saturday night.
Who is more conservative, Rodney Davis or Mary Miller?
It depends on what your definition of conservative is.
How about this? Who is more of a rhino? It's a really hard question.
That is a hard
Because, by the way, I don't even know what rhino. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Can I say something?
Sure.
Can I say one thing about rhinos? So rhino,
They have big horns.
Rhino, they've got big horns. So I think people have used the term rhino as a pejorative. But I lately have taken it as more of my libertarian senses. So I like to kind of beat up on everybody. I almost think that rhino is turning more into, and I'm not praising Rodney Davis or Mary Miller. I'm just saying in general, rhino I'm almost using that as my security blanket these days.
Okay.
So because it's like anything to defeat anything that we think is bad.
Right.
So I don't even know if rhino is a bad word. But rhino is a 4-letter word.
Well, I think it's, in my mind, so you have, two Republicans, we'll say, two conservatives that are, chomping at the bit to win. And I don't know if there's another way that they can do it outside of calling one a rhino, which is basically what, Bob? It's Republican in name only.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be some talking points, and this is kind of what we talked about the other day or earlier in the monologue, that, rhino to me is a derogatory, it's
absolutely.
not a great thing to call someone, especially who has the same kind of mindset as you in most realms. So maybe let's say, okay, rather than calling one or the other a rhino, let's talk about what the other one has to offer that their competitor
Yeah,
or their
exactly.
opponent
And
doesn't,
if
right?
you haven't seen the Daily Muddy and watched Ashley's discussion on this, she knocked it out of the park in talking about this. And I'm sorry, I've known Rodney Davis a long time. The guy's a rock solid conservative. I would not call him a rhino. Now, Mary Miller goes to the hardest right possible. But I mean, when you're arguing over people who got an A+ or an A- from the NRA, Jesus Christ, you're picking hairs.
Now, Bob, was rhino used to be moderate Republicans?
Yes.
That was just right
if you were to
center?
go back, the first time I ever heard the term rhino was probably 90s, maybe. It was because it was whenever Newt Gingrich came in with his contract for America and decided to kind of hold President Clinton hostage because he just lost Congress and he could and Newt could come in and kind of have his way. And that was really when I first started hearing that term. And again, back then, being an avid Rush Limbaugh listener, God rest his soul, fellow Missourian, I think that's where I first heard the term. And I was like, rhino, what the heck's that? And then, you heard, well, these people say one thing, do the other. They don't vote as we want. I mean, people have called, Mitt Romney a rhino. People have called John McCain a rhino. I mean, it's like, It's anybody who's just so hard right that they just can't accept any kind of give, that they just say, okay, it's my way or the highway. And if you are not with me 100% lockstep right, you're a rhino. And I think that's a bit much.
Yeah, I think one of the terms or phrases that I've heard one time is that conservatism is progressivism driving the speed limit. So
Excellent.
if you've got a super right-wing person and they look just slightly to their left, and they've got somebody who's also very conservative, who would be almost a far right extremist to somebody from the left, but someone slightly to the left of you as a conservative is, you're looking to them and you're like, how do I crush them? Like, what kind of name calling can I do to make somebody feel bad? Where they're probably just like me and we're probably on the same team, but I'm just going to call them names.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we agree on 88% of the issues, but on this one issue, oh my God, you're woke or whatever.
Well,
And
I think it's like, sorry to interrupt.
No,
I think
jump
it's
in.
Like, so it has nothing to do with one or the other being a rhino. It has to do with I'm supporting this one and you're not. So I'm going to come up with something, not even a reason why I'm supporting this one or not. I'm just going to come up with a reason why yours should lose. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
you should lose because you don't agree with everything I believe in. And yeah, I don't know. I think
But
that,
Ashley, all the stuff you're getting in the mail, isn't it just speaking out to you and telling you that, boy, this is great. This is a great way to do business.
I just throw it right in the goddamn trash. Yeah.
Recycle bin, straight in the recycle
Yeah.
bin.
Yeah, nothing you're going to
That's
get
what
in the
I
mail
Awful.
is going to be anything. Nothing you see on a commercial, nothing you see on TV.
Now, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but once upon a time I dabbled in professional politics. And I was always a, TV, digital media buy guy. And these guys who want to come and do these mailers, I'm just like, we're wasting thousands of dollars on shit that people are not going to read.
Yeah.
But, hey, they all want to get their cut of the buy and all that. I'm like, I don't care. I don't read this crap, and it's awful,
When I ran for alderman, I had a flyer, and I knew the moment I got them, it was just bullshit. Like, everybody who's getting them is looking at it, and they're like, I feel like this is what every person before her has ran on. I should have done more. I should have been like the guys, this is what I want to do. This is what's important to me, and I feel like that's what we're missing across the board. What are you running on? What is what's your goal? What makes you different? And let's start there. A little bit of transparency never hurts, right?
And when you ran for alderman, the mailer was the most expensive thing you did, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
Yeah.
So-
Knocking on doors was where it was at. Now, I will say, I had a little bit of advice from certain people who will remain unnamed to do like some, not negative campaigning, but kind of just talk to people about, why they should vote for me versus this guy. And I'm like, I don't need to be versus this guy. I just need to be why me. And I feel like, again, that's what we're missing. If you are strong enough to run on something that you believe in, you shouldn't have to knock anybody else down. You should run on what you believe in, and people should follow you because that's what they believe in. And I really feel like that's what we're missing. Yeah.
Perfectly said.
Is very, very well said.
Thanks.
So, President Trump, so I can say President Trump and ex-President Trump, and that means the same thing, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all on board.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
He's still my president.
I don't
Come
want
on.
anyone to see,
No.
take
Yeah.
it the wrong way. Okay, so when Trump, when 45, however you want to describe this man,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to come here. He is not going to be knocking on doors. He is going to be blasting through.
Oh my gosh.
What, the Mendon area? Like, what is happening exactly? Where is he going to be at?
Adams County Fairgrounds.
In a field?
In a field.
don't know.
Okay, the
I
way,
mean,
all right,
in a
you guys have been to the fair, right? You've seen a
Swaddle the
concert. You've seen a concert at the
Swaddle the
fair.
child.
You've seen like the Derby. You've seen stuff at the fair, right? You've been to the fair, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not getting conviction from you guys. Have you like gone to the Adams County Fair to
I
watch
went-
stuff?
yes.
I
I-
have, but
yeah.
the reason why I'm hesitating is because I did not put two and two together that he's going to be at the Adams County Fairground.
Yeah.
All I heard was he's coming to Adams County, coming to the Mendon area.
Yes.
And then now you said it, and now I feel like a dumbass because I didn't.
No,
put
it's
two and
okay.
two together.
So let me ask this, and this is going to sound like a total smart-ass remark, and it's not. It's just for my own curiosity. Is he going to go in the same kind of bandstand that they do the Derby? Is that where this is happening?
Where Garth Brooks performed back in like
Whatever. Okay. To put a little
1990
cool
or
spin on
whatever.
it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay.
That was
That's where it
my
is.
first Adams County experience. Adams County Fair experience was interviewing Garth Brooks. So
There will be
Sweet.
more American flags around this time.
and probably some rebel flags. But you go, okay, I think what's going to happen is you've got your grandstands that seats 1,500 people, let's just say. Then you're going to have people who are going to want to stand on the dirt track where the Derby and the horse shows and the tractor pulls and all that stuff. That all goes. But then you've got the little stage where the bands are, where like the Miss Quincy or Miss Adams County, girls wave the hand and stuff. I think they're going to have to move that back like 100, 200 yards. And then try to shoehorn everything in. Because if you're going to have 25,000 freaking people there, that's what you're going to have to do.
5,000?
And you've got two entrances and exits into that facility. You've got the Menden Fowler Blacktop, and you have the exit off Highway 336. Now, I had a prominent Republican county board member who said, well, yeah, you got Bill's back roads. You can go blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. The Secret Service is not going to okay the presidential limousine to go down Bill's back road, okay?
You think that people aren't going to try that, though.
Well, there will be people who try. I've heard there are already campers set up at the fairgrounds campground.
Which is awesome. I mean, yeah, this is historical. I think.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm like, Trump is hated and loved. Cool, whatever. This is historical for Quincy, Adams County, whatever you want to call it. This is a big deal, whether you hate him, love him, support him, I don't care. This is so cool. Like I said before, when Obama came to town, I'm not a supporter of, or wasn't, or, but I went. I saw it. It was cool. It's something that will go down in my history book. I thought it was awesome. So I'm hoping that, people do the same thing and don't get stupid and don't get wild and don't get
Obama.
Yeah.
So was he at the OLC?
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
Center? So
Yeah.
Walter Lewis, where I work, is down on 5th in Ohio, and we got a call from the Secret Service
No.
and said, can we put somebody on your roof? And we had Secret Service on our roof.
Yeah,
And
only
then-
if Frankie
and
can
then-
go with them.
And yeah, they told me, well, they had the whole thing kind of marked off, but they had somebody there, and I had to show them how to get up there. So that was kind of neat. So that was my claim to fame in 2008.
That's awesome.
When you, in the whole presidential fanboy world, I don't want to use the C word, cult, not the other C
No, 'cause
word
I was
that
gonna
you
say,
looked
and
at me
there's
at.
Fangirl. No, it's cool.
But you remember when, Obama was, he won and he had his cool posters that said hope and the O symbol and everybody, oh. And, the folks on the right would go, there's a cult, there's on the cult of Obama. What are we doing with Trump now?
It's, I don't know if cult is short for culture, but it doesn't even matter.
No.
So everybody has their team. So everybody picks their team. It doesn't matter. It could be, the year you graduated from high school, or it could be like maybe you're a Cubs fan or a Cardinals fan. Everyone's
high
got their
school
team.
itself.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody has a religion. Everybody's in a cult. Your family is your own cult. And you're right. To your point, Bob, you're talking about okay, you're not allowed to be in this cult, and we're going to make fun of you. And now there's this cult. I don't know which is bigger. I tend to think the Trump kingdom is... Did I say Trump kingdom?
You did say Trump Kingdom.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Disney for some reason, but go ahead.
Someone's going to use that now. But I mean, how about Trump Nation?
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you
Trump Nation is very, very strong around here. And we were talking about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
We said, okay, what percentage of Adams County and what percentage of Quincy supports Trump? And how many people do you think will go to this that don't support Trump? Or do you think it's going to be near 100% yes?
It's going to be everybody who supports him. I don't think there are going to be a few looky-loos who just want to go and look, but I think that's a very small portion.
I feel like, okay, let's not forget, he's a celebrity, right? He was a celebrity before he was president. So
Yeah.
I feel like he still has that people, especially, let's not say, I'm not dissing, but it's like me. When Obama came to town and Gardner Denver, when I was working for them, they let us all off work to go see it. Number one reason was I got out of an afternoon of work. Number two, I thought it was super cool. There's a president coming to town, or it would be, I don't remember if he was he elected then?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go see the President of the United States. That's amazing. I don't think a lot of people are really going to care. It's something to do. A lot of people go to drag shows on a Saturday night because it's something to do.
Family-friendly drag shows.
Yes, all those.
Why did you just put a picture of Trump and drag in my head?
I don't know.
That's just so
We were
wrong.
talking about the good hair day the other day. That's probably why. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so it's a cool event, I think. I'm hoping that we keep it cool.
I was speaking to a Democratic operative that I know, and there was some discussion about some Adams County Democrats going out there and showing up in protest. And I understand that some of the higher-ranking Democrats in the state said, that's a really bad idea. Why don't you guys just stay away? Why don't you just stay home? Because that's going to accomplish nothing.
There could be about a half dozen naked women with certain kinds of like weird looking hats and weird kind of thing, just like getting shut down. You know what I'm talking
Definitely.
about? Like from way back in the day with the, man, this is the Club Muddy, so I can say it. Remember the pink hats?
Pussy hats, yeah.
Yeah.
You can say it.
That
You can
kind
say
of
it.
thing. There could
Yeah.
be something like that.
But you're not talking like Stormy Daniels showing up or anything.
No, she's
okay.
gonna stay so far away from that place.
Brittany and I were talking about doing the, with the beer and
The Viking
is that
horns,
what we're
right?
talking about? With
Yeah,
the straws
yeah.
that go in your mouth and you can slam some beers.
And then the Viking horns, like the dude, at the January 6th riot.
So
I'm just trying to get on the news.
Sorry, I called it a riot. If I offended anybody, it was a damn riot. Sorry.
So here's my prediction for the Trump rally: 25,000 people. Is that what's predicted?
Yes, I think that's
the
the number.
registration limit. I
Yes,
believe.
yes, correct.
Okay, goodness. So I need to put more thought into this.
But now,
So-
how can we keep people from? I mean, I know the Secret Service is going to be great, but I mean, I used to go in the Adams County Fair in someone's trunk, right? So are we going to be able? I mean, there's got to be some really strict shit going on because
Yeah.
we are thrifty MFers.
We are. Well, this is Adams County.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna again, but for Team Muddy, we're gonna put you on a bus and drop you off up there
Yeah.
and go do your thing, do your job, cover it like like we want it covered, and then the bus will come and bring you back to Quincy.
I think that this event is going to go off without a hitch. I think it's going to be a very successful thing. I think Trump. I'm not going to do a Trump impression, although I'm okay.
Let's hear it.
Come on.
Let's hear
It's
it,
not good
Frankie.
enough. It's not good enough for a podcast.
You know what it's good enough for?
It's good
Muddy
enough for the
River
Club
News.
Muddy.
You better
I think
do
if you
right,
did it, it would be the
goddamn.
greatest impression ever. It'd be greatest.
You know what? I'll do it after one more of these peach cocktails.
All right, no more
and then
pressure.
but
No
I
Episode
think
2.
He's going to say
In the
"Love you,
in the
Quincy.
post-mortem.
Everyone from Quincy's here. This is pretty much the best. This is Western Illinois. We're right next to the the Mississippi River, and it's gonna be okay, and everything's gonna be So that's like the worst Trump impersonation
It was
ever.
pretty all right.
Well,
I'm
first
not
off, he's
gonna
never going to mention a river because he's got no friggin' idea of what rivers he's by. He's going to get, again, he's
don't
getting,
think so?
he's
You
getting
don't think he's
paid.
doing his-
He's getting paid a chunk of cash to come here, stump for Mary Miller. He's going to say what he needs to say, and then he's going to get the F out.
All right, hang on. I do have a question about that. So I've asked before, is he just rallying for her, or does he know that he has like a super supportive crew here in Quincy? Who's
I think he's had a significant amount of smoke blown up his ass, so he will know that this is a Trump-friendly area. He will show up, and he will receive a raucous round of
all
applause.
the accolades, for
So
sure.
let's assume. So you and I have talked, Bob. You and I have talked, and actually we haven't talked about this yet, but I think we're going to in terms of.
Let's do it.
Without getting into like personal vibes of like who we like and who we don't like, because that'll come out naturally and kind of organically.
My thing is, I'm like, I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
I don't like any of them.
Yeah,
I
so-
just
yeah.
don't.
Okay,
I
so
feel like you and we
it
could run, and that would be
sounds-
way better.
it
Okay, go ahead.
sounds
I like Ashley, and I like Frankie. That's who I
I
like.
was actually leaving, City
Yeah,
Hall the
no,
other
no,
day,
go
and I
ahead.
ran into somebody, and they were like, "Oh, are you just here applying for the mayor's position?" And I was like, "Oh my god, not a chance in hell." Okay, but still flattering. There's no way in hell. But
what
yeah,
is one thing about
Okay.
people who don't like any of the national politicians?
They call them libertarians.
Yeah, they are for maximum liberty.
Yeah.
And then those kinds of people so we're all kind of cut from the same cloth. And I hope that doesn't make anybody turn us off from
Yeah.
thinking that, because
No.
we are for maximum liberty and freedom for that person who is tempted
for
to
all
turn
of you,
us off.
for all of you.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
everybody, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who you are. We want you, our politics, and I'm not speaking for you, but the general feeling is it doesn't matter who's coming into town. Honestly, I'll tell you right now, if Biden was coming into town, that was going to be, we'd still be sitting talking about this podcast saying that is a historic
I would
event.
still go.
It's
Sure.
the same thing.
We'd still
Because
cover it.
We'd still cover it, and we still want to talk about it because we're like, wow. And that's the difference between, I think, us and some other people.
But there'd be 2,000 people there instead of 25,000.
Well, I would let him go sniff my hair.
How many do you
That's cool.
think would?
When I say that, no, I'm just kidding. But that is like that. There are good and bad sides to both sides. I made fun of Trump's hair the other day. I'm making fun of him sniffing my hair. It's all good.
a
Yeah,
total
yeah.
legal move.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the thing is, like,
Yeah.
but if Biden came, it would be more of a green experience. More people would try to ride their bikes and ride electric cars and things like that. And the EVs
think
wouldn't
they
get
would?
charged.
If Biden were to come, what do you think the attendance would be? I joke. You think it would
How
be?
about this? How about this? If we all had $100 to throw on the table, would anyone want to? If I say it would be less than Trump's, Is that 100%?
Well,
100%. No, but
that's
here's the thing.
that's a sure bet as a sunrise.
But every single time, Trump, it doesn't matter if you like him or you don't like him. His attendance is going to be higher on average 90% of the time. On average.
99.9% of the time.
For those of us, including me, who are like, well, why? Okay, so Biden is, he is, well, not as big a celebrity, but he's the president, right? Okay, so he comes and people want to hear what he has to say or want to make fun of him. The attendance may not be of supporters, but the attendance is still going to be there, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. Like, what is the reason for Trump's?
Okay, so let's be honest about Trump, okay?
Yeah.
You said it earlier.
I know I did, but I
He's a celebrity.
want to reiterate. Like, okay.
Trump is here for his reelection.
Is he?
Okay.
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 Yeah, this is where we're brass tacks, baby. Let's do it.
I'm not saying that he's not here for Mary Miller. Maybe they're best friends. I have no idea. What I'm saying is, knowing what I know about Trump is, so I'm going to be very careful here because I don't want to show one side or the other on this one because I think for this discussion, we're just casually talking about this appearance.
And I think in the future, you're going to be able to discern what. Yes,
I do think that. So listen, I can. So it's not mutually exclusive. I can say that I prefer Trump over Biden as president. I can say that. So I vote Libertarian.
Okay.
So I've never voted for Trump.
Sure.
Okay, but maybe that's a mistake because every time I do that, something bad happens.
Right.
So, so is it possible that Trump is doing it for himself? Is Trump a narcissist? Is Trump a better leader? You can say yes and say that he's a class A narcissist. So is he doing it for re-election?
I would say that is possible. Or I would say that he finds value in knowing that Quincy and Adams County is very, we're conservative for the most part, and that he's doing the party a favor. Maybe not himself as re-election, but maybe he's just bringing in more hype around a powerful conservative party, and he's trying to I don't know. That's a possibility.
Okay, so if that's true, and I'm not saying it's not true, I like what you're saying because translation is Trump is actually a team player within the Republican Party.
Possibly.
That is possible, and maybe what if it's both? What if it's like both a team player? He sees no downside to doing this. He's coming to the Adams County Fairgrounds. He gets to endorse an R. He gets to be with the people. He knows it's going to be a feverish pitch of craziness.
Right.
He knows he is playing around with re-election. I mean, he's saying he's going to be. I mean, that's in 2 years. He knows there's midterms. Maybe there's absolutely no reason for him not to do this. Maybe he's like, this is a no-brainer.
Duh. I mean, like you said, egotistical, whatever he is, he's going to come here. He's going to get a lot of applause. He may even do the party some justice.
And by the way, I think when you run for president and when anyone is president, I think you have to have some level of crazy, some level of egotistical, some level of narcissism. That's all kind of baked into the cake. Yeah. I mean, it's outrageous to say that all of these men and women who run for president of the United States, the leader of the free world, to have zero elements of egoism or narcissism. Right. I'm just saying that President Trump, who I find to be extremely entertaining, and I like him. He's extremely likable to me. Now, not to somebody who's super leftist woke, but to me, it's entertaining. I just am okay talking about the different elements of him.
For sure.
But yeah.
He has an abundance of ego. I mean, that's either why you love him or you hate him, right? One of the reasons, anyway. Okay, so let me get a little more. Sorry, go ahead.
No, finish. You finish, because then I'm going to drop the hammer, so go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to get a little more controversial here. So within Quincy, there are some people who disagree with taxpayers paying for his visit, security, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Okay. So I just want to see what your thoughts are.
Barack
Before
Obama
we start that, do you want to finish your sentence?
left a
Because I
bill.
just
No, I'm
took
going to
that
go
off.
on
Okay.
something a totally different tangent.
Okay.
No, Barack Obama left us with a bill. Bill Clinton left us with a bill. It happens. That's the way it is. Former presidents come visit. The city eats it. That's just the way business is done.
Okay. Yeah, that
Is what it
pretty much
is.
Just, I mean,
You have anything to say?
add it to my tab.
Yeah.
Add it to the tab.
I was going to say, if you have a problem with this,
30 trillion.
if you have a problem with this, I need to know if you know something I don't about the rest of our taxpayer money and where it's going. So, because I don't know if people know that, but
Yeah.
anyway, okay.
So at some time in a future podcast,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you, Ashley.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, do you know what the total percentage out of your family's income that you guys pay in taxes? Do you know the total percentage? And
I'm going to say I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to that. Is what I'm going to say.
Like, I don't know how much.
Thanks, Ruth.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That was a very good. Ruth.
Right.
That was a good Ruth.
That was okay.
Good Ruth,
That was
yeah.
really good.
Thanks.
I totally forgot about.
See, I just want to get Brittany on so she can do her Anna Delphi because she's really good with that.
she is?
Oh
So
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, it's like, do you take the
even
bank
try it.
transfers or whatever? No,
I
Ashley's
can't
or
try it. Yeah.
Brittany's really good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh wow, Brittany could have played that part.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
100%.
100%.
Let's not tell her that too much though, because I feel like she's going to go around Quincy like totally just.
No, she should. She should be Anna Delphi for Halloween.
Sure.
She should. I'll be her friend. It's like, oh, I didn't know she was scamming me.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You're gonna be her incredibly stupid friend.
I feel like I was more Stewie Griffin, but it's cool. Yeah, it's all good. Okay.
Stewie Griffin. So
Yeah.
hey Bob.
Yes.
As do you want to drop the hammer right now?
Yeah, I feel like you said you were going to drop
Well-
a hammer, and I totally.
Why don't you just drop a hammer?
Okay. Donald Trump is a malignant narcissist. Let's not go away from that. And I think the one issue we're kind of dancing around is we've got all these January 6th hearings going on. Do they not mean anything? Do we not think that this guy at some point in time said, I don't want to lose this job. I'm going to do whatever I can to keep this job, even if I didn't win the election?
You know what?
And does that matter?
It does matter. So would you agree that January 6th is somewhere between a dust-up and worse than Pearl Harbor?
It was nowhere close to Pearl Harbor, but it was a major fucking riot is what it was.
Okay, but there are other major things happening that aren't getting any things too. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Okay, so where are we?
Okay, the Black
Yes.
Lives Matters folks weren't at the U.S. Capitol. They were in Milwaukee and Seattle or wherever. You had people storming our nation's capital on this shit.
With no guns.
And they shouldn't have been doing it.
Okay.
They didn't need guns. They had like stuff like pointed spears and were
Did you see
going
pointed
through.
spears, Bob?
Yes, I did. And also, you did have like the Capitol guys who just kind of stood there with their thumbs up their ass and let them in. So I get that part of it. And I get that most people there were just following the mob. I believe there was a small central group of antagonists involved there who were being provoked by President Trump and his staff. I think that's, again, small. I think most of the people were just following the crowd. I really do. I think, oh, hey, we're going to go in here. I do believe that. But I think this was a concentrated effort. I mean, when you look at, what they wanted to do to Mike Pence and all this other stuff.
It is true. Okay, so everybody knew that January 6th was going to be a day. So
Yeah.
48 hours before, 72 hours before.
Yeah, why didn't they, like,
People knew that this was
better?
going to. People knew. So here's the deal.
Yeah, and
At
again,
guarding,
why was there not
guarding,
more
not-
security?
that's what
Again,
I'm
that's
saying.
on Pelosi's fault.
This
Come
is
on,
ridiculous.
people.
Okay. So
No,
tell-
there's plenty of blame and blood to go around for everybody here.
how far off am I on this?
Go for it.
If you believe, so there's this ancient feeling of inside the country, which is not very long ago. If the average lifespan is 77 to 80 years, and you take a look at the founding of the country, where you've got the Declaration, but the Constitution was ratified, in 1787-ish. So
87, 89, something like that, yeah.
somewhere in there. So you've got, if you go back from 2022 back to even back to the articles of just like the founding fathers.
Right.
How many people ago was that based on a 75 to 80 year life expectancy? 3 or 4
Are you
people ago?
asking me to math?
It's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that long ago.
Okay.
We used to dump tea into the harbor
Sure.
for certain things. Now, if Now, given that I understand that Juneteenth was a couple days ago, and given that Trump is coming, and given that this is a podcast and we can say whatever we want, I'll say something.
Go for it.
If slavery is 100% taxation, that means every single thing that you earn, I take it, it's mine. Forever, for your whole life. 100% taxation, that's what that means. When is it not slavery? And I don't have the answer for that. I will ask this. If people are so fed up and they think that we are redlined, and they think that we have to do something, and if Joe Biden gets in office, they think that they will be forced to have mandatory injections. They think that there will be World War III. They think that there will be inflation. They think that gas prices will reach like $5 or $6, and they think that all of the things that their leader says is going to happen. If they believe that, which by the way, if you take a look at those reels of Trump, I already said out loud that he's a narcissist, right?
Right.
But so obviously I'm not a very good R. It's like almost like I'm a rhino because I can talk onto both sides. But here's my question. If you are all of these people, and I let me preface by saying, if you breach the Capitol walls and there's a national federal law against that, and you do that illegally, I think that whatever happens to you happens to you. You have to take that.
It's a
So
consequence.
you have to be prosecuted to the law, because as an L, I think we're more of, we're for law and order. My question is this. If you know that January 6th is coming up in a day or two, and you know that you're going to be at the Capitol, and you know these things are happening, and you know, by the way, the FBI, you take a look at Senator Rand, asking the FBI agents, did you do this? Were you about this? And every single time the FBI says, I'm not going to tell you anything.
Yeah.
Because we all know what the FBI does. We know about J. Edgar Hoover. We know about assassinations of presidents like JFK. We know how violent this country is. So, does it stand to reason that you may have a few hundred people storm the Capitol with no guns? And by the way, some of those people, for sure, were probably violent, radical people.
And I think there were some guns there. Absolutely. I don't think there weren't any. No guns.
There may have, we don't know of any, but were
Right.
there? It's just like,
We don't know.
is there zero election fraud in this country?
Yeah.
No, there isn't zero. There's some. But were there guns? Probably. Of course, there's a gun. Someone's concealing and carrying. I'm just saying, I'm not saying January 6th was the worst thing in the world or the best thing in the world. I'm saying it's somewhere between a dust up and the worst thing.
Absolutely.
Pearl
Yes.
Harbor.
Right.
Yes, it is.
That
Yeah.
is a
It is
fact.
not.
Frank.
It is
That
not
is a
Pearl
fucking
Harbor.
fact.
It is
Yeah,
not
that is a
the.
fact.
It is not the Lincoln or
That is a
Kennedy
fact.
assassination. It is not Pearl Harbor. But again, it wasn't.
Now,
It wasn't a
we-
walk in the park
Do we
either.
think that it deserves any more attention than any of the other huge amounts of bullshit that are happening in this world that have created turmoil and ruined lives? And okay, it's Capitol building. I get it. Okay, we stormed it. They should. They have consequences, right? They should have all the consequences.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
so then we can take it to the other side, and I'm going to butcher this name because I always do, and I'm not very good at following this up. But Ghislaine, okay,
Maxwell.
Okay, where is that? All right, so if we're going to publish, and we were going to wonder where this Capitol building thing is, just as devil's advocate, where is this? And this is what I want to know. And this, when I say transparency is what rules the kingdom for me as a voter, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so Mary Miller, I want to know what your plans are. I need to know why I should vote for you. I don't need to know that Trump is endorsing you, because to me, that doesn't mean shit. I need to know what you sit on and how you're going to change my life for the better if you are elected, right? Same for whoever runs for president next. I don't know who that is. I need to know. I don't need to know how this guy makes my life worse. I need to know how you are going to make my and my kids' lives better. And that's what we're missing every single day in every campaign. Everything we do is negative bullshit that doesn't really accomplish anything. So, spin on that. with your
Well, I
golden
was
rod.
I was looking for a way to use Jillian Maxwell
How
for
could I-
my Bill Clinton impression, but
Okay.
we'll save that for another episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I totally let you down?
Well, no.
No, it was good.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
So to your point, what you're saying is there are so many things going on right now, and it's only what is in the pan, like the flash of the pan. Whatever is in there, that's the only thing that we're going to focus on is that.
Right.
And you're saying
we're driven to that.
Shiny
for a
object.
reason.
Shiny
Yeah.
object.
It's like, if the SCOTUS is able to leak some docs somehow, and there's all of these leaks all the time, how is the Ghislaine Maxwell list? How is that not leaked?
Not leaked.
Right.
It's not leaked. And you're saying, okay, so January 6th.
What's up with that? That should be
what's
my
going on with that?
Yeah. What's up with that?
What's
That-
happening?
Yeah, I just need to know.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but in terms of just to kind of wrap up the January 6th thing, because we could talk about it for a long time.
All day long.
And well, I mean, we are talking. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, the hearings are going
As they
on. So
should.
yeah,
It's
As
a
they
big.
should.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. But do you know what I think? As just as much as I think that Trump mostly is here for his reelection campaign, I think that January 6th, conversely, is mostly to make sure that Trump doesn't run. I think they want to put a nail. I think they want a silver bullet right through the proverbial silver bullet, through the proverbial heart
Yeah, for sure.
of the proverbial candidate in terms of shutting him down.
Right.
I think everything is mostly political, and I think that the individual doesn't want it to be that way. We want to get money out of politics. We want to get we want everything to be right and correct the way that we see it.
Sure.
And so, I mean, that's pretty much,
It's like a paradox, yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much the way I see it in terms of what's happening right now.
Now,
So,
let me ask you this. This will be the last thing I speak up because I feel like you have this golden rod that's in front of your face that you just need to
Excuse me?
use it. Yeah. Okay. So, excuse me. So, okay, overarching. I don't care if you're a Biden, Trump, conservative, liberal, libertarian. Right now, I want to know how many people in the United States of America would say, "Yep, going good. Everything's going well."
it's
And
not
then
going well.
right?
No.
And then you dissect that and say, okay, now what is the presidency, the nation's leadership? What is under their control, right? And how could we do things different? And then you vote based on that.
and
That's what I would say.
that's why I think right now, if you had to put money down or whatever on who the next president will be, again, right now with nobody being charged with anything, what have you, I think it's pretty safe to say that Donald Trump would be elected again for the term, for another term. I think that's how it'd shake out.
Because things are bad.
Yes, and I think and he is going to be the Republican nominee because he will take all the oxygen out of the room when it comes to anybody else in the Republican Party. I just think that's how it's going to
Not
shake
a
out.
presence.
You know,
Say that.
you can, we like to preface by, you can say what you want about President Trump, but you know what? You can say what you want about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but that lady said one particular thing one time, okay? She said, and this is paraphrasing because I'm pretty sure she didn't say it exactly like this.
I bet she did. I
said
bet you
something,
remember it.
well, no. She said,
May she rest in peace. Jeez.
Hey, listen,
Okay.
RBG RIP.
Yes.
That's right.
Let's just get that.
That's right,
Let's
yeah.
just get that
Yes, absolutely.
over with.
Okay.
So she said, I understand that the eagle is one of our national emblems, but she said, I believe the pendulum really represents this constitutional republic, because in this country it swings back and forth, and we've got the scales of justice, we've got the eagle holding the arrows, but the pendulum might be a pretty good, and that's, to your point, is this idea that we've got we're in a situation, we're not in a good situation, and something needs to change. So if Trump's going to run, he's going to run. I mean, it's more about what good R can you put in to beat the current D.
Yeah. But again, I think he's the clubhouse leader, to use some golf terminology. So, and on that note, I think we're going to wrap it up because we've had a really good discussion here for our inaugural Club Muddy. And I want to thank Frankie and Ashley for joining in. And we're going to do this again next week. And again, I want to thank you for listening and watching. And we'll be back next week with more Club Muddy.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you guys.
Ciao.